still longer than I planned, waiting for the last thought to pass. The ceiling fades into the dark, and I stop paying attention to it. The room sounds different this late, not silent, just settled. The music moves slowly, like it's careful not to wake me. Each note spaced far enough apart to breathe. I remember the shape of the day, not the details, just how it felt to carry and how it feels to let go. My hands relax on their own, fingers uncurl, small changes that matter. I don't follow every word anymore. They start blending into sound, meaning loosens, and that feels right. The melody comes back again, softly, like it's checking in, then stays quiet. I turn once under the blanket, find a better position. The body knows before I do. Thoughts arrive incomplete, then drift away before finishing their sentence. The song doesn't ask for attention, it stays nearby, doing its job without insistence. Breathing slows, pauses stretch, time feels rounded instead of sharp. I don't think about tomorrow, not even briefly. That part of me has already gone to sleep. The music keeps going even when I stop following it. Sound turning into background and into comfort. When the track reaches its end, I don't notice immediately, because I'm already resting somewhere else. The room stays dark, the night stays steady, and I let myself drift the rest of the way. The room feels smaller this late, not tight, just contained. I sit with my back against the bed, feet stretched out, hands resting where they land. There's a hum somewhere in the building, pipes, or maybe the elevator. I don't check. The music starts slow, almost almost already there, like I joined it halfway through. I listen without following, let the sound pass over instead of through. This is usually when words slow down, sentences stop forming cleanly, thoughts don't finish, and I don't mind. I notice the space between notes longer than before, wide enough to stay in. The night doesn't change much at this hour, it just repeats itself quietly, minute by minute. I think about the day in fragments, not events, just the way my shoulders felt around noon. That feeling is gone now, replaced with something softer, less defined. The melody returns, not identical, but close enough to recognize. I don't react to it, I let it exist alongside my breathing. The room stays dim, the shadows stay where they are, nothing shifts suddenly. Time stops feeling directional, it doesn't point forward or back, it just stays. The song stretches out, notes holding slightly longer, then releasing without emphasis. I don't reach the end. The end reaches me quietly. When the sound thins, the silence underneath feels familiar, like it's been waiting. I stay seated long after the last word, long after the last note. The room remains, the night remains, and I rest inside that sameness. street outside keeps moving, lights passing one by one. I watch them from the window like I don't need to be part of it tonight. I hum along before I notice a melody finds its way. Not loud, not asking much, just something that wants to stay. I didn't plan on feeling lighter, it just happened on its own. Like the night shifted slightly when I finally slowed. There were parts of today I carried longer than I should. I set them down piece by piece, the way I know I could. I lean into the sound now, let it take a clearer shape. The rhythm stays predictable in a way that feels safe. This is where the music helps, not by changing how I feel, but by giving my thoughts a smoother place to land. I follow the melody briefly, then let it go again. It comes back when it wants to, like an old friend. I don't stay in one emotion, I let them pass in line. Each one gets a moment, then gives back the time. The night feels wider than the room, like there's space beyond these walls. I don't need to reach for it, I just let the feeling call. The chorus returns more clearly, a shape I recognize, not dramatic, just familiar, like a voice I trust. I notice my foot moving, keeping time with the beat. The body responds first, before the thought completes. I don't push the song forward, I don't rewind, I let it unfold naturally at the speed of the night. When the melody stretches out, I stay with it longer than it resolves gently, without insisting. I think about the morning briefly, the idea, not the details. It doesn't interrupt, it just passes through. The music fades slightly, then settles again, like waves that don't need to crash to be felt. As the track reaches its end, I realize how steady I feel, not changed, just alive. night's done adjusting for the day. I hear the refrigerator click once, then nothing for a while. I sit still long enough for the room to stop reacting to me. Furniture becomes background again. There's a thought I almost finish, but I let it trail off halfway. Feels right tonight. The music arrives gently, not as a statement, more like a suggestion. I follow it for a moment, then I don't. Both feel okay. The night stretches in small increments, 5 minutes at a time. Long enough to notice, short enough to stay calm. I lean back and feel the floor through the rug, solid, unconcerned. This is usually where I'd reach for distraction, but the urge passes before I move. The melody repeats, slightly altered, as if checking whether I'm still here. I am. I don't need to respond. The chorus doesn't announce itself, it just becomes clear, like recognizing a street you've walked before. My breathing slows without instruction. The body takes the lead, the mind follows later. I think about earlier hours, not the details, just the weight they carry. It's lighter now, not gone, just set down nearby. The song keeps its distance, close enough to hear, far enough to leave space. When the sound thins out, I notice the quiet underneath. It was always there. I don't feel it, I let it hold. The track moves toward its end without pointing to it. Time does the same. When the last note fades, I stay seated, listening to the room return. The night continues, unbothered, and I move with it at the same pace. pull into a quiet spot. Engine clicks, then goes still. Sudden silence feels intentional, like it was waiting. Dashboard lights stay on a moment longer, blue and dim. I don't turn them off right away, I let them fade. Outside the road keeps breathing, cars pass somewhere behind me, but this place stays separate, held in pause. I rest my hands on my knees, stretch my shoulders once the drive lingers in my body. Even after it's over, the music slows with me, or maybe I slowed first. Either way, we end up in the same place. About the distance I covered, 9 miles, just the shift in my head, from movement to stillness. The chorus returns softer, like it knows the drive is done. It doesn't ask to go further, it settles. I lean back and look through the windshield, dark sky, scattered lights, nothing dramatic, just enough to keep my eyes open. There's a comfort in not rushing the exit and letting the moment finish on its own terms. The song stretches out, notes hanging longer than before. I don't follow them closely, I let them float. Earlier thoughts feel far away, not gone, just quieter, like they stayed on the road. My breathing evens out again, slower than during the drive. The body adjusts naturally, without instruction. The music becomes part of the space inside the car, inside my head, blended. When the track moves toward its end, I don't reach for the door, I stay seated just a little longer. The engine remains off, the night stays wide, and I sit in the calm that arrives after motion. Eventually the song fades, but I don't notice right away, because the quiet feels almost the same. I can stay up a little longer, but my eyes already know. The room feels heavier in a good way, like it's ready to rest. I turn onto my side, pull the blanket higher. The ceiling disappears into the dark, and I stop paying attention to it. There's a list in my head, things I could think about. I don't open it, I let it stay closed tonight. The music moves slower than before, each note taking its time. I follow a few of them, then let the rest pass by. Earlier conversations come back briefly, not the words, just the feeling they left behind. It doesn't linger. My breathing finds a steady rhythm without being told. The body seems confident about what comes next. I don't replay mistakes, I don't imagine improvements. I don't replay mistakes, I don't imagine improvements. Those ideas feel distant now, like they belong to another hour. The melody stretches out, almost like it's yawning, repeating itself gently until it feels familiar. I notice how quiet the space feels between one sound and the next. That space feels safe, wide enough to disappear into. Thoughts slow down mid-sentence and don't bother finishing. They fade the way lights do when someone turns the switch halfway. The song keeps going, but I'm not counting anymore. Time doesn't feel linear, it feels soft. I sink deeper into the bed, the room stays exactly the same. There's comfort in that, no adjustments needed. The chorus returns, less distinct than before. I recognize it, but don't hold on to it. My hands relax, my jaw unclenches. Small changes that mean more than they seem. The sound gradually thins out, not ending, just becoming less noticeable. I stop following the music, and it keeps playing anyway, like it doesn't need me awake to exist. When the track finally fades, I'm already somewhere else, still breathing, still calm. The room stays quiet, the night keeps its shape, and I drift without marking the moment it happens. I turn the lamp down low, not off, just enough. A room looks different when the edges soften. Keys rest on the table, jacket over the chair. I don't put everything away, I let it stay where it landed. I talk to myself quietly, not out loud, just inside. Simple sentences that don't need replies. The night outside feels far enough, cars pass but muted, like the city agreed to lower its voice. I sit on the floor instead of the couch, back against the wall. The music fills the space above me without falling in. Some thoughts arrive fully formed, others stop halfway. I don't push them to finish, I let them fade mid-shape. This part of the night always feels honest, not heavy, not light, just clear enough to notice small things. The way the air moves when the heater clicks off, the pause between notes in the song. I don't reach for my phone, I don't avoid it either. It stays where it is, like everything else. The melody moves slowly, no hurry in its timing. It repeats without insisting, like it trusts I'm listening. I lean my head back, close my eyes for a moment, open them again, the room hasn't changed. I think about a few people briefly, not conversations, just faces. They pass through gently without staying long. The chorus comes back quieter, or maybe I'm hearing it differently. It fits the room now like it belongs here. I don't follow the song to the end, I let it play around me. The sound blends into the walls, into the floor. When the track finally fades, I stay seated, listening to what's left after the music. The room holds its shape, the night keeps moving outside, and I stay right where I am, calm, uninterrupted, at ease. Late night, the room feels bigger than before. Not because it changed, but because I slowed down. No notifications, no voices from the hall, just the low hum of the city doing its thing without me. I don't rush this feeling, I don't frame it in my head, I let it sit quietly, like a sentence half read. There were hours today that asked too much from me. I answered what I could and left the rest unfinished. That's allowed. I'm learning that's allowed. The keeps moving, but it doesn't sound impatient. It ticks like it understands that not everything needs fixing tonight. I lean back, let the chair hold my weight, let my thoughts line up slowly without forcing them straight. Some memories drift in, then drift out again. I don't follow them, I don't send them away. I stay with the sound, with the space between notes, with the calm that doesn't promise anything more. I used to think rest had to be earned, like something at the end of effort. But maybe it's just a place I'm allowed to step into. Right here, without explanation. The music doesn't rise, it doesn't fall, it just stays consistent, like a quiet call, not asking me to feel better, not asking me to change, just staying long enough to soften the edges. I don't plan the morning, I don't replay the day, I stay somewhere in the middle and let it be okay. If this night passes quickly, that's fine. If it stretches longer, that's fine too. I don't need to name this mood, I don't need to hold it tight. Some things are better when they stay light. The city keeps breathing outside my window frame. I breathe with it without needing to keep pace. When the song loops back again, I barely notice, because I'm already settled inside the rhythm. No chorus calling attention, no moment meant to shine, just a steady presence for this time of night. And when silence returns between one sound and the next, I don't fill it in, I let it rest. Late night, still here, nothing urgent, nothing missing, just calm, holding its place. On the sidewalk, color stretching as cars pass by. I walk a little slower than the crowd, letting gaps open in front of me. Music in my ears, volume low, just enough to blur the edges. The city keeps its own tempo, I don't argue with it. A cafe closes behind me, chairs stacked, lights dim. Someone laughs across the street, then disappears in a traffic. I don't check the time, I don't change direction, I follow the street because it feels right. The beat stays steady like footsteps matching pace, not pushing me forward, not asking me to stay. Windows flicker past, lights mid-sea. catch fragments and let them go. This part of the night feels efficient, everything trimmed down. Fewer questions, cleaner lines. Back smooth, understated, it fits between the buildings. Without echo, I breathe in cold air, exhale slower. The sound of the city softens around me. I think about messages I didn't send. They don't feel unfinished here. They belong to another hour, another setting. The chorus arrives quietly, more like a turn than a destination. I recognize it and keep walking. Lights count time for me, one after another. The rhythm holds without effort. I don't look for meaning, I don't label the mood. This is just how late nights move. The track keeps playing while the street opens up. Space between buildings, space in my head. When the music fades slightly, the city stays bright. I keep moving, carrying the same calm. No scene to close, no line to cross, just another stretch of night, lit softly and passing by. Streetlights flicker through the curtain, drawing lines across the wall. I sit a little further back and let the room stay tall. My phone rests face down on the table. I don't feel the need to check. The night feels slower when I stop, trying to stay ahead. I think about the way the day moves. Not every step, just a tone. Some parts felt heavier than they were, some lighter when I got home. I pour a glass and let it sit. The sound of water fades, small actions feel deliberate at this time of day. I don't trace every thought to its ending. I let a few remain unclear. They don't demand attention, they're just here. song doesn't build toward anything. It moves the way the night does in small shifts, almost unnoticed. I don't feel the urge to define this moment or give it weight. I let it pass through me at its own rate. When the chorus returns, it feels familiar, but not demanding, like a place I've already been and don't mind standing. I stay with the sound until it blends into the room. The line between music and silence gets thin, and when the track finally fades, city doesn't sleep the way it used to. It just slows down. Lights stay on a little longer, windows glowing across the street. I lean against the counter, let the room fill with sound. Not loud enough to distract me, just enough to feel around. This hour feels familiar, like I've been here before. Not for a reason, just because nights repeat. I don't sit with heavy thoughts, I let them stay at a distance. They pass like conversations I'm not part of. The music keeps a steady pace, nothing pulling forward, nothing dragging back. It moves the way traffic does at night. I take a sip, set the glass down, hear it touch the table. Small sounds feel clearer now, when everything else is quiet. I don't rewind the day, I don't skip ahead. I stay somewhere in the middle, where time feels neutral. The melody circles back, not as a hook, more like a familiar turn on a road I know. Outside, a train moves through the distance, slow and steady. It fades before I finish listening, and that's fine. I don't need this moment to mean much. It works just being here, a stretch of night that doesn't ask anything from me. The rhythm stays consistent, like it understands that this time of day is better without surprises. I shift my weight, breathe out slowly, let the song carry the room. It doesn't change my mood, it fits it. When the chorus returns, it feels casual, like a thought that comes back because it can. I don't stay focused on the lyrics, they blend into the sound, and that's exactly what I want right now. glow and the room stays quiet, and I let the track keep playing while the night does the same. No ending to point at, no moment to catch, just another calm stretch of after dark time. The city sounds quieter from here, like they finally learned how to fade. I don't hear every thought anymore, just the ones that decide to stay. I leave the window slightly open, let the air move how it wants. No plans waiting in the next room, no pressure calling my name. I used to fill these hours like silence was something to beat, but tonight I let it stretch and settle around me. Some moments don't need words, some feelings don't need proof, they just exist, and that's enough truth. I don't scroll through yesterday, I don't borrow tomorrow's weight. I stay right here in this minute, let it be late. The light on the wall barely moves, time feels wider than it should. I'm not chasing rest, but it finds me anyway. There are thoughts that knock softly, then change their mind. Others sit down quietly like they've got time. I don't answer all of them, I don't close the door, I just listen without reacting, like I've learned before. change positions on the couch. Pull the blanket up halfway. The room adjusts with me like it's learned my pace. I don't open no messages, I don't delete them either. They stay where they are without asking to be lighter. Some parts of today come back in pieces. Not scenes, just textures. The tone of a voice, the way the light shifted. I don't chase those details, I let them pass like reflections. They move across the surface, then disappear. The music settles into a pattern, simple, repeating calm. It doesn't try to lift me, doesn't pull me down. I tap my fingers once, then stop. The habit fades on its own. The body slowly switches modes before the mind catches on. Outside someone laughs in the distance. The door closes, footsteps echo. Life keeps happening somewhere else. I stay right here in this pocket of quiet, not separating myself from the world, just stepping back a little. The melody stretches longer than expected, notes hanging in the air. I don't follow where they're going, I just let them stay there. I think about tomorrow briefly, not in detail, just the shape. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't need preparation. The night feels cooperative, like it's not asking questions. It gives me space and lets me decide how to use it. When the chorus comes back around, it feels softer than before. Not because it changed, but because I did. I don't reach for anything else, I don't check the time. I let the track keep playing, one section at a time. As the sound slowly thins out, I notice how still I am, not frozen, just settle. The room stays quiet, the city keeps moving, and I sit comfortably between those two states. When the song ends, I don't move right away. I stay where I am, letting the calm finish what it started. What it started. The road opens up ahead of me, lines stretching under the lights. The city feels calmer from this angle, like it finally exhaled. Hands steady on the wheel, the radio low. I don't need to know where I'm headed, just that I'm moving. Streetlights repeat the pattern, one then another. A rhythm I don't question, I just follow. The day loosens its grip, mile by mile. Thoughts rearrange themselves, some fall away, others find a quieter place. I don't replay conversations, I let the engine fill that space. The sound stays even, like it knows the pace I need. This is where my mind works best, not rushing, not drifting, just align with the motion of something like part of the road instead of a distraction. I keep my eyes forward, let the mirror stay behind. Whatever's following can wait its turn. There's comfort in forward movement, even without urgency. Each mile doesn't promise anything, it just exists. The city thins out gradually, buildings give way to space. The music stretches with the road, never breaking its shape. I breathe out slowly without thinking about it. The body adjusts before I notice. The melody circles back again, familiar, steady, like a thought that returns but doesn't interrupt. I don't speed this moment up, I don't slow it down. I let the night decide how long it lasts. The road keeps unfolding and I stay with it, not chasing the end, not avoiding it either. When the lights grow fewer and the sound grows softer, I realize how clear my head feels without trying. The song carries me the rest of the way, not guiding, not leading, just move alongside at the same speed. And when the track fades out, the road is still there, still open, still steady. I keep driving with the same calm the night gave me a few miles back. After the last exit, fewer signs, longer stretches of light. The city fades behind the mirror and I don't look back. Hands rest easy on the wheel, the speed stays even. I let the car decide how fast this moment moves. Street lights appear less often now, each one feels deliberate. Count a few without trying, then stop. The music settles into a pattern, something reliable. It lines up with the road without asking for attention. I pass a gas station still open, bright against the dark. Someone inside wipes the counter, then looks up. I don't think about stopping, I keep going. The road feels better when it stays open. The chorus comes in steady, not louder than before. It feels like another lane running beside me. The engine hums underneath everything, the constant note. I let it carry the space between my thoughts. I think about earlier plans briefly, not the details, just the direction they were pointing. It doesn't matter right now. The road curves slightly, the car follows. I don't correct it, I trust the motion. There's comfort in not choosing every second and letting momentum handle the rest. The lights thin out, dark stretches grow longer. The sound of tires on asphalt becomes clearer. The melody repeats again, familiar, unchanged, like the road marking time without keeping score. I breathe out slowly without noticing when it started. The body settles into feels darker now, but not in a way that hides anything. It's just resting the same way I am. I shift once under the blanket, then stop moving. The mattress holds its shape like it knows me. The sounds outside are far enough away to feel harmless. Cars pass without urgency somewhere else. I don't follow the time anymore. Minutes blend together. I stop guessing how long it's been since I closed my eyes. The music stays gentle, never stepping forward, never disappearing, just existing beside me. I remember small details from the day, not important ones. The way the light hit the floor, the sound of keys on the table. Those details fade on their own, I don't push them away. They loosen their grip and drift. My breathing evens out without effort. The body seems confident about slowing down. I don't hold on to thoughts, I don't finish them. They trail off naturally midway. The melody repeats quietly, almost the same, almost different enough to feel familiar. I stop noticing the words before the song ends. They blend into the sound and lose their edges. The room doesn't change, the night doesn't rush. Everything stays where it is, and that feels right. The track keeps playing even when I'm no longer listening. Sound turning into background, then into something softer. When silence finally settles, it doesn't arrive suddenly, it just replaces what was there.